Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And this time, after reviewing a few rants on some bad films, in my opinion, but just want to go back and watching a good movie. So, and I watched this a few times. There was a couple times I watched this with my mother from some years back. You know, my mother is a fan of this film, and of course we're both fans of the actor too. But after rewatching this film again, move these out of the way just so that I'm in view. Rewatching these films again, I still enjoy the film. And it's still a good solid movie starring Harrison Ford, and that is of Witness. Now, like I said, I just want to watch, after a few rants, I just want to watch a good movie. Any good movie, so. But I figured out why I picked Witness. Why I picked this film to review. I don't know. Because I like, we're just going through my collection, just want to watch a good movie, so I picked this one. And it still is. Witness from 1985, starring Harrison Ford, which is an actor who's I've always enjoyed. I've always enjoyed Harrison Ford. A lot of people enjoy Harrison Ford, because for playing Indiana Jones or Han Solo, but I've always enjoyed Harrison Ford, because I like those characters, but I've liked him in other movies besides those two characters he's well known for. But this is a good one. This is what he did. This is after he did the Star Wars and the first two Indiana Jones, because Last Crusade was 89, this is 85, so this is the year after he did Temple of Doom. So, but Harrison Ford I've always enjoyed as an actor, and the film was directed by Peter Weir, who later would direct with Harrison Ford again in Mosquito Coast. He directed a film called Fearless, Dead Poets Society, and who later go on to direct The Truman Show with Jim Carrey. And I think this is based on a novel. Witness. I think it's based. Is it based on? I can't remember. I believe it's based. I believe it is based on a novel. I think it was. But when the film came out, it got a lot of critically acclaimed from critics. It has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the film got nominated for a lot of Oscars. So yeah, it got a lot of nominated for about. It was nominated for 8 Oscars. Yeah, 8 Oscars, including for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for Harrison Ford. It won the Oscar for Best Screenplay, and it won the Oscar for Best Film Editing, and the other nominations for Best Score, Best Cinematography, and Best Art Direction. So yeah, it won 2 Oscars for Best Film Editing and Best Screenplay. And I enjoy the score. I enjoy the film. The score. By Maurice Jarre, I thought was pretty decent, and Harrison Ford does a really good job. The direction by Peter Weir was good. The screenplay was good. Yeah, majority of the film I liked. And as for the supporting cast, you have Kelly McGillis. There you go. Let me say the name properly. Kelly McGillis, who later, year after this, 85, and a year after, in 86, will later go and star in Top Gun. And sadly, she didn't really go on to do much after later on. But I know she's not going to be in the sequel Top Gun Maverick, so sadly. But I liked her in Top Gun, and I liked her in this, so. And also other supporting cast members, you have Alexander Duganov. Alexander Duganov, who will later star in Die Hard as the character Carl. You know, Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman's right-hand guy. You know, Carl will later Reginald Val Johnson goes and shoots him at the end when he came back. Yeah, so yeah, that's Alexander Duganov. Yeah, so years before starring this, then a few years later, we're starring in Die Hard as Carl. Viggo Mortensen has a supporting role in this, and your bad guys is Josef Sommer, and another bad guy is really enough played by Danny Glover. Danny Glover, who another actor I've always enjoyed from Lethal Weapon movies, Predator 2 I love as Mike Harrigan. I love Predator 2. Predator 2 is my favorite role for Danny Glover, although I enjoy him as Murtaugh in the Lethal Weapon films. I've enjoyed him in many other films, and I've always enjoyed, like with Harrison Ford, I've always enjoyed Danny Glover as an actor. Phenomenal actor. And this is one of the few times that Danny Glover plays a bad guy in films. You know, you ever rarely see him play a bad guy. I know he played a bad guy. It was a film that starred Mark Wahlberg. It was called Sniper. He was like some kind of corrupt bad guy in that movie. So yeah, so it was one of those very few times that Danny Glover plays a bad guy. And for what amount of screen time he gives, he does a good job as playing a crooked police officer. Because the story goes, again getting into the story. Story goes that in the Amish community, Kelly McGillis takes her son. Who was the kid's name? Samuel. They go to the station, and they're at the station, and the kid has to go use the bathroom, right? So he hides he goes in one of the stalls, and the title, he witnesses a murder, and one of the murderers is a dirty cop played by Danny Glover. He murders this one guy who was also a cop, and the kid witnesses this. And Harrison Ford comes in as the character John Book, and asking the kid, did you see the guy and what did he look like? He identifies some guys, but later at the police station, he sees a newspaper clipping with Danny Glover's picture on it, and points him out. Because Danny Glover, when he was a cop, they called him Lieutenant Narcotics because he worked in he busted some people doing narcotic stuff, I guess. So, and then at a point where Danny Glover tries to shoot Harrison Ford, he scares him off though, but he gets injured, and he takes the Kelly McGillis and the boy to their community, the Amish community, but so since his injury he can't really make it there, so they take him in, and he stays there for quite amount of time. And then with the time he's being amongst the Amish community, helping them out. He's like trying to fix this old car up they have, or even the point where the boy finds his gun, and at first he kind of yells at the boy, but then he says he's sorry, but he can't believe it's dangerous. It shows Harrison Ford as a character that yeah, he yells at the boy, but he clearly said he's sorry though, because he tells him things like those things can be dangerous, so that's why he told him not to play with the gun or touch it. And while it's going, he talks to his friend, the chief of police, played by Josef Sommers, and he tells him about Danny Glover. But the thing is, though, Josef Sommers as the character Paul, he's in league with Danny Glover. He's also dirty as well, and Harrison Ford had a partner that was working with him. He also told this, and he was going to tell it to the chief and all this stuff. So, but later they killed him. And when they told Harrison Ford this over the phone, Harrison Ford is like, I'm going to do to you exactly what you did to him. I'm going to fuck you up badly over the phone. Okay, and Harrison Ford is pissed about that. And you see that, like I said, he's helping amongst the Amish community, help build put this up, they're building a house. And you also, throughout the time, you see, there's a little bit of romance, romantic relationship between Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis. But I thought it was quite different because even by the end of the movie, they don't really fall in love with each other. They end up going their separate ways. Because, they do get a little bit lovey-dovey. They do share a kiss or two, even to the point where, Harrison Ford sees Kelly McGillis, shirtless, basically. No bra or anything. But they don't go the whole full romantic relationship. They don't go that route. So yeah, they do have a little bit of a thing though, but they end up going their separate ways. So I thought that was kind of a different thing, where it wasn't a full-on romantic relationship. Okay. But they do play off each other. The chemistry we have with each other pretty decently, and up to the point where the time when the bad guys come in. Well, actually, before that, Harrison Ford, after he got that call, shortly after he got that call, they're back in town because the Amish people, they go into town to get some stuff though, then going back to the communities. But there was a couple of regular folks, or you could say rednecks. They're always teasing the Amish people, right? How the way they dress, or how and they're one of the old guys of the Amish people is telling Harrison Ford, don't do this. It's all right. It's not our way, because the Amish people don't fight, right? It's like a point where Alexander Godunov, he likes Kelly McGillis though, but he sees it with Harrison Ford though, but he sees it, but he doesn't really want to, up to the point because he doesn't want to fight, just use words, because they don't want to fight. So, but they don't go full on yelling at each other, So, but like I said, the old guy's don't do this book, it's not our way. But Harrison Ford says, yeah, but it's my way. So he confronts them and he just goes and punches that one guy. Gives him a good bloody nose. I was like, yeah. And then later on, that's when the bad guys come in, Josef Sommers, this one guy, and Danny Glover. They gear up, and they walk towards the farmhouse. And I like how Harrison Ford uses his smarts. He uses his smarts where there's one point where this one crooked cop, he suffocates the guy because the guy's standing in this empty silo, and Harrison Ford just drops this whole big thing of corn on top of him, and the guy can't breathe because all this is dropping down on him. It's hard for him to breathe, so the guy suffocates to death basically by having all this corn dropped on him. And that was kind of an interesting way to kill somebody, Drop all this corn, it's because it's getting too hard to breathe. All this is dust thing, it's too hard to breathe, and the guy suffocates to death. Okay, that was kind of a different way to kill somebody. And then he gets the shotgun, and then he shoots Danny Glover. And I like it, but it's just a few seconds before he shoots Danny Glover. Danny Glover, he hears something, he's looking over there, and then he's running, and then we have a little bit of a point from his point of view shot. We have a shot from his point of view, right? And then, which I like, Danny Glover's running, and then we see from his point of view, all of a sudden Harrison Ford comes out and shoots him. So I do like that little bit of camera work where you see from Danny Glover's point of view. Just before when Harrison Ford just comes out and blasts him away. Yeah. And then And then the boy rings the bell, bring all the Amish commuters. They come towards the house, and Harrison Ford telling the guy, Joseph Sommer, saying, "It's over, Paul. It's over. Enough. What are you gonna do? You're gonna shoot me? You're gonna shoot him? You're gonna shoot the boy in front of all these people? It's over. Enough." Yeah, because we can shoot with all the witnesses watching. So yeah, it's like, it's over. Enough. And then after that, Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis, they go their separate ways. And because they live in two different worlds. Harrison Ford, he's a city cop, and Kelly McGillis lives in the Amish community. So that's why how their relationship cannot be like that, because they live in two different worlds basically. So yeah, Witness I thought it was still a really good, solid movie. Yeah, like I said, with the relationship between the Harrison Ford and Kelly McGillis, there's like a little bit lovey-dovey stuff there though, but it's not full on romantic relationship, because it doesn't end with them falling in love with each other and Harrison Ford decides to stay or whatever. No, they don't do that. They just consider they live in two different worlds. They go their separate ways. So that was kind of a different thing. Harrison Ford, he does a really good job as John Book. Kelly McGillis, I liked. Like even the supporting characters like Joseph Summers as the crooked police chief. Hey, it was nice. It was also nice to see Viggo Mortensen in there, and hey, Alexander Dugop just before playing Carl in Die Hard. Okay, cool to see him there. Danny Glover, Danny Glover for the small role that he had as the crooked bad guy cop, as what's his name, McPhee. Like I said, whenever Danny Glover is on screen, it's always nice to see him, whether it's in a small role or a leading role, because he always has that good presence to him, So, yes, but even so, I think still Danny Glover did a good job as the bad guy. Because like I said, it's always nice to see Danny Glover. Like I said, from Predator 2, the Lethal Weapon movies, and many other movies. So yeah, so it's him, Danny Glover, and Harrison Ford did a really good job. So the score by Maurice Jarre was good. The screenplay, the direction by Peter Weir. And on the back here, Roger Ebert's video companion, given it 4 stars, saying Harrison Ford has never given a better performance in a movie. Well, yeah, so like I said, Harrison Ford did a really good job, So outside his Han Solo / Indiana Jones roles, this is a really good performance from him. Witness, I still think it's a pretty good movie. I know my mother is still a fan of this film. Like I said, it's always a pleasure to see Danny Glover different role as a bad guy. But I still enjoy the film. So Witness, I give it a thumbs up. It's definitely worth watching. If you haven't seen Witness, I recommend you give it a watch. For Harrison Ford, if you're a fan of Danny Glover, see him play a bad guy, I'll give it a watch. Well, not just for that, because he's a supporting role though. But if you're a fan of him or Harrison Ford, give Witness a watch. I recommend it. It's good. It's good to say drama, a little bit thriller in there. So, yeah. Witness. So that's my review of it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next movie review. Later.